Listen, my sellers don't pay me anything for their pre-listing inspection. I get paid from title when their house sells.
Mm.
And when they want to do an inspection and save a little bit at that end table, then we do what's called a modified pre-listing. We look at the major stuff, like not the walls, the ceilings, the outlets, no, like the HVAC, the water heaters, the electrical foundation, like that big ticket item stuff.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I am your host, Q Edmonds. Y'all know I said a lot. I'm excited to be here. And you know I said a lot. I'm excited about my guests. And today is no different. This guy has already got a special place in my heart, just because of his passion, him being a veteran, the way that he sees things, his passion, his stick-to-itiveness. Y'all know I love that word. But this guy has overcame a lot of different things. But that's not my story to tell. That's his story to tell. So I don't know how much he wanted to get into it. But one thing I do want you to know, that he is a home inspector. But what separates him from the others is the integrity that he has, the way that he cares for people, the way that he wants to bring integrity to everything that he do, especially when it comes to business, but just really in overall life. So it gives me great honor to introduce you now. I'm not going to say his government first name, so I'm going to call him Dave, but I am going to say Mr. Dibelius.
I'm doing great. And for anybody that's watching, you'll know exactly where I'm from when I say go birds.
But there you go. He didn't let it out. Let it out the bag. So listen, Dave. Man, I'm truly, truly excited about our viewers getting a chance to peek through your lens. And so, Dave, I want you to take us into your world, man. Tell us what it is that you do, what your main focus is these days. Maybe tell us what markets you're operating in, and maybe if you want to just give us a backstory on how you got started. I know people would love to hear it, but again, I'm gonna leave that to you. But let us into your world, Dave.
So my world's been pretty busy over the last 45, 48 years. Um, so before I got into home inspections, I was actually a 911 dispatcher in southeastern Pennsylvania. I did that for 18 years. Spent 25 years in the United States Air Force in the Air National Guard. So the theory of 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks a year, which was never 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks a year. Um, but I did that as a medic and as a medic instructor for the military. And I've been a volunteer firefighter now since 1993. So longer than probably some of your viewers have been alive, but that's what makes us unique when we get old. But I decided to get into home inspections. I had a big life change back in 2016. Went through a major life change, and I decided to change careers. I decided to hang it up and leave my former career to do this in a way that nobody in business would ever sign off on. Like I said, I have a lot of years working in buildings. Being a firefighter has always been a big passion of mine, and helping people. I mean, when you think about 911 and firefighting and being a medic, those all have those common themes of I like working with people. So I decided I want to become a home inspector. And how is the best way to do that?
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
I retired from my job, cashed out my pension, bought a new house, got rid of a nice car, bought a used car with no payments, and dropped about $80,000 altogether in the span of about 30 days. And, anybody that's proficient in business would tell you that is insane to do that, right? Because, when you do this, when you leave something that you've had for almost 20 years, that full-time career, everybody would say, what's your plan B? And I didn't have a plan B. It was, this is the plan. Failure is not an option. Failure can't be part of my vocabulary because I got a little one at home that I got to take care of. And if this doesn't work, like I can't be 45 and doing, $10 an hour jobs and provide for a kid. That's just not going to happen. So I went all in. I bought into a franchise, which was a very smart move. I'm not with the franchise anymore. Not because they were bad, but because it was just time to change. And I think every 5 to 10 years, you have to experience some type of change or you're not doing something right. But the franchise helped me build to what I am today. It allowed me to develop relationships and really the people in that franchise, especially those peers that I had, that first year of me being in this business, it would not have been as great as it was without that type of help. And I think that's what my biggest thing is, like, going through life changes, life experiences. Something we didn't talk about earlier, but I had a major accident back in 2011. It shattered my right leg. It took me 8 months to learn how to walk. And, things like that humble you, but it also brings you out of that mindset. Like as adults, we're like, I got to do this on my own. I got to figure this out. When you have things like that happen in your life, you find out real quickly that it hurts the first time you tell somebody, I need help, or I need help to do this. And then after a while, it gets very comfortable. Like when I talk to people now, I'm like, listen, man, you've done this before I did. How do I do this? How can I make myself better? And it doesn't, after you do it enough times, you start feeling like, man, it doesn't really hurt to ask for help, because when you're asking for help from the right circle, they're invested in your success as much as you are. So I decided to do home inspections. I love going through attics and crawl spaces. I'd rather do attics in the winter than the summer. I'd rather do crawl spaces in the spring than the summer, but I still do them. It's a family business. My teenage daughter has worked with me now for 3 summers. So a 17-year-old girl knows how to do electric, HVAC, plumbing. She hates doing the plumbing portion, but that's par for the course. But I love the fact that I get to meet people every day. Every day is a new experience. Every day is an opportunity for me to show somebody what's going on with their investment. I think, other than children, and nobody will ever change my mind on this is the number one, because it doesn't matter when they turn 18, you're still putting money out the rest of your life. Buying a house is the second largest investment you're ever going to make in your life. Having kids, and that's okay, because you plan for that. You ask for help. That's what grandparents are for. They can help you. But with business, you have the opportunity to work with real estate professionals in every facet of the industry. Contractors, realtors, As a friend of mine told me early on, don't call them realtors. They are realtors. You got to get it right. Otherwise, you get crucified.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
But I love the fact that every day is something new, and that I get to go into somebody's potential new home or a home that they're selling to tell them, like, hey, this is my professional opinion on what I see. These are things that are showstoppers. These are things that are minor, cosmetic. Being able to tell somebody that when they read this report that they're going to get, that's, when you print it out, it's like 80 pages nowadays. But being able to tell them, like, hey, this is a red list item for me. This is a safety issue, but it's only a $20 safety issue. Being able to kind of not get rid of their stressors, but to manage that stress of the home buying process. And being able to put myself in that position where somebody actually says thank you, which sounds silly, but when I was dispatching and being a 911 operator for 18 years, I think dispatchers are the most unthanked heroes in the public safety area, because we're dealing with people at their highest stress, like their worst time of their life. It's very seldom anybody says thank you to a dispatcher. So that was an unexpected perk of my career choice now, because people do say thank you. Realtors say thank you. Sometimes it's not a thank you, it's something else but that's typically when people don't like what I say about their house. Because it's a double-edged sword. One party's saying thank you, the other one's like, I don't like this guy. He just told me what's wrong with the house. Because when you own a home, your home is your castle. Your castle's perfect just the way it is. And then you bring me in there, and then the appraiser comes in, and then all these other people are like, yeah, your castle's like a shanty, but I try to minimize it as best I can. It's hard. You can't make everybody happy all the time, but I do my best to manage expectations. And that's the best you can do in any real estate profession, is give your professional opinion, give it 120%. Too many people are like, oh, I'll give it 100%. I'll give it that 110%, because that's that tagline. If you're not giving 120%, then you're not even giving 100% in my mind.
Yeah. Man, listen, Dave, the more you talk, the more you share, the more impressed I get with just you as a person. And so, man, thank you for taking us into your lens, taking us into your background. And I'm getting more and more impressed with you just as a businessman. And I know one thing you said that people are starting to do now is that they're not just calling you as a home inspector when they're buying a house, but even the seller is starting to call you in to do an inspection on a house. And so I know everything, all these different moving pieces are not especially easy. So what's been the key to kind of keeping you running smoothly, keeping that machine kind of actually going at a very continuous pace?
You know what? Honestly, the number one thing that comes to my mind is my family. We are a family business. We're veteran owned, but we're a military family. My wife, we've been married since 2018 now. And she doesn't have any part of my business. She has her own career. She's a high school guidance counselor. So when she comes home and we got two teenagers, it's like she gets to go back to work all over again. But having that constant support, especially when things get tough, when things get rough and the finances take a hit because the pendulum in real estate swings and maybe it's a slow month, just that once in a while hearing, hey, you know what, babe, you're gonna rebound from this. It doesn't matter that things are getting tight. I'll help pick up the slack. I'll do this, or we can do this, or, let's refocus here and what can we do to help you here at home? That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the career itself, things change, like dynamics change, and we are doing more pre-listing. Like we've modified our pre-listing process. There are times I don't even do a full top to bottom inspection because people want to have something less expensive because as a seller, you don't want to spend money. So how do I market that?
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Listen, my sellers don't pay me anything for their pre-listing inspection. I get paid from title when their house sells. And when they want to do an inspection and save a little bit at that end table, then we do what's called a modified pre-listing. We look at the major stuff, like not the walls, the ceilings, the outlets, no, like the HVAC, the water heaters, the electrical, foundation, like that big ticket item stuff to make sure that when somebody comes to look at their house, now they got a document in front of them saying, hey, all that stuff that's going to cost you 10, 15, 20 grand, it's been looked at by an independent guy. And it's picking up. It's a hard process because it's regional. I have a friend of mine that's an inspector in California, and 85% of his business is pre-listings. Here in Pennsylvania, it is definitely not that high, but it's growing. And now we've got people are starting to realize, like, when you get a house renovated and you want to sell it, now people are also starting to call us to come in and look at how the contractors did their job. So now contractors get to be, but we do new constructions, and some of the builders out there are great to work with because, like I said earlier, it's all about, sometimes you get that thank you and it means a ton. When I get to work with a renovator or a builder who literally says, tell me what's going on as you're going through, and I'm going to have my guy go fix it right now. Those are the people that I refer to everybody, because they know they're going to screw something up. Well, not even that it's a screw up, but they know they're not going to get everything right the first time, right? So when they open their arms and are like, hey, bring your guy in, I'm proud of my work, and I find something wrong, and their answer is, all right, we're going to take care of that right now. Like, and that's happened a couple of times over the last few months. One house in particular, like, I'm sitting there jotting stuff in my report, and then I got to change my report because 5 minutes later, he's actually fixing it. It's done before I was finished my job. I love that. But it's got to be family. Any business you have, if you don't have not necessarily a strong family support, but if your family doesn't believe in you, how are you going to believe in yourself? And it's vice versa. If you don't believe in your product, if you don't believe in your own vision, how is your family going to believe in it? If you want to build and have employees and you don't invest in your employees and you don't believe in your employees, how are they going to represent you? How are they going to represent your vision? Yeah. So you got to have that support. I think that's the root. That's the base of everything.
Absolutely, man. When I told you, you and I have a synergy, man. My wife is an elementary school counselor, and so when I tell you, man, you and I have a
we'll put
synergy
them in
going on. Yeah. Oh yeah, man. This is amazing. So listen, man. I love it, man. I love your family. It's the driving force, the passion behind what you do. And let me ask you this: so, what are you most focused on scaling next? Like, what's the next real goal for you?
Right now I'm in the process of it. I'm actually doing my real estate course to get my real estate license. I've been tossing it around for a couple of years, and you know what I just said about, like, people believing in that vision, right?
Yeah.
I've made some very good friendships through doing what I do with other realtors. And when I get the link for this, I'm going to have to put it out there, but I have to do, I hate using the term shout outs, but I have to shout out to my friends Jeff, Nathan, and Mark Gatta at Opus Elite Real Estate up here in Bucks County, who have really, Jeff and I have been working together since he was at his previous brokerage. And he kind of brought me into Opus as his inspector, and being able to work with Mark, it's blossomed into charitable work through the community. They've got a charity foundation. Like that's what I want out of real estate. A lot of people are like, I want to be a millionaire, and I've got the millionaire mindset. In my mind, I'm already a millionaire, even if I drive a 2012, right? But Mark and his team up at Opus are so community driven that they've started a community charity organization. And I'm that guy that's like, all right, if I got to give up a piece of my commission because it's going to go into a community thing, that's a good firm for me to look at and be involved with. And the mentorship has been, when you have like the owner of the agency who, last year or earlier this year, we're still 2025, we had a health issue here at my house with somebody in my family. And Mark called me. He's like, "Hey, can you sponsor this thing?" I'm like, "Mark, I never say no, but I have to say no right now because we're going through this." And his whole mindset shifted. Listen, don't say another word about it. How can our foundation help you and our family? Like, I'm like, "Wow." So those are people that have been on me to get my butt in gear and get my real estate license. And another person is Anna Daly. She works with the Wolf Pack through EXP Realty up in Yardley, Pennsylvania. Anna's been a friend of ours for years. We found out that her kid takes karate, and her karate instructor was the best man at my first wedding. So he's been a good friend of mine for decades. But Anna, we were talking recently about 4 months ago, and she's like, "Dave, why aren't you getting a real estate license?" She's like, you could market yourself great because of your inspection background. You would bring so much to the table for any buyer or seller. And and they really, those people really have pushed me to take this step. And I'm not trying to knock anybody out when I say it. There's guys from KW like Chris Stevens, Gaurav Gambhir, down at KW Empower that gave me my first shot as a vendor for a real estate agency. Like, without guys like that, listen, I was a little cocky about it. I'm not going to lie. Like, I walked in, I went to KW, had a Bold training. And at the end of Bold, I meet Chris Stevens. He's like the CEO down there. And I'm like, "Hey, Chris, I'm Dave." And he's like, "Oh, you're the home inspector." And I was like, "Hey, I wanted to talk to you about your home inspector problem." And he's like, "What problem is that?" I'm like, "Well, the problem is that I'm not your preferred vendor at your agency, and that's costing you guys." Like, I had to get a little, I hate to use the word, but I had to like a little brass to it. I had to be a little cocky, but he gave me an opportunity based off of that. That helped me grow my business. So bringing all that in, like when I'm looking at getting my real estate license, it always reminds me about that sphere and that circle of people. Um, something I've learned trying to get it more involved in real estate. Apparently, there's like two things that realtors love. They love donuts and pizza, and they love. So, my wife's family's big into golfing. I've started golfing more, but the reason I bring that up is because it's about business. And that sphere of people, if I'm golfing with 3 other people in a foursome and they play worse than me, my game is going to suffer. But when I'm playing with a guy like Chris Stevens, who likes to get trophies at tournaments because he plays so good, I am stepping up my game. And those people that I just mentioned, Jeff Farrell, Nate Hodson, Mark Gatta, Mark Gatta's tagline used to be "I got a guy," and because his name is Gatt. And they've really pushed me to up my game. And Anna Daly has pushed me to up my game. So I have to expand because your business expands to the point that you do. And if it, that's a KW Bold thing. Anybody from KW that's going to watch is going to be like, "Oh, that's a bold law." It is, because I use a lot of bold laws in my work. No diamonds equals, no diamonds without pressure, or no pressure, no diamonds. There's a lot of things that I use on those affirmations that keep me going. Hey, listen, there's one sitting on my shirt right now. You are enough. Because I know you're probably going to talk to me about that at some point, so I'll just bring it up. But I'm very big into veterans causes and suicide prevention, because it's a very personal thing with me. But You Are Enough isn't just about suicide. You Are Enough is business. You Are Enough is family, because we always question, am I enough for this? And that question, listen, you start a business on your own, you're going to question every move you make for those first few years. Because what do the experts tell you? You got to be in business 5 years to really know if you're going to make it or break it. Listen, it's been almost 10 years, and there's still times I wonder, like, am I doing this right? But I remind myself, I am enough for this. If somebody doesn't like me, there's 10 other people out there that do. And,
Yeah.
I don't, it's going to sound callous when I say it. I don't care if you don't like me. I care if you respect me. I care if you trust me. You don't have to like me, but I want you to trust that I know what I'm doing for you. And hopefully I can do that as a realtor. Hopefully, listen, I want to
Yeah.
close like 20 deals a year. I want to be driving around
Yeah.
a 2020 instead of a 2012. I'm not all about being big and flashy. Like, y'all look at my office here. Like, all my military stuff's in my office because my wife pretty much told me, like, she's tired of my basement being the military homage. So it's all in my office. But like, I go to work like this. Like on September Suicide Awareness Month, I got hoodies. I take them to work. I'm driving an older car because who drives a Mercedes to do a home inspection? But yeah, I'm doing more. I'm more involved with veterans initiatives, which doesn't pay me anything, but it pays me something here.
Yeah.
You know, I'm part of
Yeah.
my veterans township because we're in a commonwealth here, just like a couple other places. But
Yeah.
I'm putting on my first ever suicide awareness walk in October. So when you ask like what's on the horizon, it's not just things that pay me in money; it's things that pay my and that's real. And people that know me would tell you like that's not a tagline. That's who I am.
Mhm. Mm. No, man, listen, you have committed your life to serving others, whether it was the the Air Force, whether it was um the 911 dispatcher, volunteer firefighter, even with the home inspection, like you have committed your life to making sure you serve others. So I know it's not a game with you. I know this is who you are through and through, and you're shining through. And I even about the relationships that you built, giving the shout outs, taking your time. Here it is, your time, the platform you can talk about just me, I, and you shout out about 45 to 55 people. Now I'm exaggerating, but no, but you made sure that people know who has helped you along the way. And so listen, man, before we wrap,
Well, and you know what?
if
And I got to
yeah,
interrupt you for just 1 second, because
yes, sir.
I would be remiss if I didn't say it. My wife's name is Lauren. My daughters are Alina and Paige. Um, if you think I have no time left in the world, I also coach softball. I attend chorus recitals. Like, but that's the thing. You got to make time. And listen, if I didn't shout out to my daughters, Paige and Alina, and to my wife, Lauren, and my mother, Claire, God bless my father. We lost him in 2017. He's the
Oh
guy that
man.
told me to do this.
Mm,
And my father had a business in the 80s where his business failed. And
mm,
and you and I are probably old enough to remember the market took a bad hit in the mid 80s, and he lost almost $1 million in the stock market in less than a week.
mm,
And they foreclosed their house. He had to close his business, and they never recovered. And shortly before he passed, I told him I wanted to do this, and he said, "Listen, I went to him for advice, and his first piece of advice was, don't do it the way that I did it." And
mm,
he's, get yourself a financial advisor, get yourself an attorney, get yourself somebody who has done this before and knows what they're talking about. Because if you try to do this by yourself, you're going to be 65 years old living in an apartment and never recovering. He's like, I don't want that for you. I don't want that for your family. And I wasn't even remarried then. He
yeah,
says, if this is what you want, marry this woman. She is good. She's going to be great for you. And, to hear your father say, don't do it this way, it stung. It still stung. I'm like, I'm
yeah,
so proud of my dad for what he has done. And then he tells me, like, don't do it the way I did it. And the thing
yeah,
is, I was about to do everything the way that I'd seen him do it his whole life.
yeah,
And to hear him say that, the man saved my business and saved my livelihood by telling me to go a different course. So my
Yeah.
biggest shout out goes to my pop, who if he was alive would tell me I can't call him pop. But
Man, I love it, man. That's all I call my dad is Pop. I'll tell you, there's so much synergy. I'm literally finishing up a book that I'm writing with my dad about his legacy, and so, man, I just man, you impressed me so much. Like I said, there's so much of a synergy. But listen, we're coming up on time, Dave. If someone wanted to reach out to you, connect with you, collaborate with you, learn more about what you're doing, what's the best way for them to reach you, sir?
well, they can come up to any softball game my kid is playing. They can reach me there. But no, we are Greater Philadelphia Home Solutions. Like I said, I'm not wearing the company shirt today, but you can find us at Greater Philadelphia Home Solutions on Facebook, GP Home Solution on Instagram. They wouldn't let us add the S. www.gphomesolutions.com. And you can reach out to me directly. My cell phone is 267-718-4475. If you want to reach out to Ashley, my office girl, she handles all my digital media. But that I got to do the shout out. Ashley is she just relocated down south, but she does all my Instagram, all my Facebook. You can reach out to her through our website. Email directly to me, david@gphomesolutions.com. I have to do this because she'll kill me if I don't. Look at our Instagram, GP Home Solutions, because I'm going to give my final shout out to Fletcher from Fletcher's Home Inspections in Colorado. The guy gave me an idea on something to do. So we do a clip called Yes or No, where we're looking at things in a home, and she tells me I got to send her videos every day. But we'll look at a defect and be like, hey, yes or no. Sometimes we're looking at something good. Maybe it's a yes. A lot of times it's a no. Follow us on social media. And even if you are using another home inspector, I don't get hurt feelings about it. If you have a question, you can always call me. If you have anything you want to pick my brain on, I don't get hurt by you using the other guy. I get hurt by you not exploring the questions and answers you need answered.
I love it. There he is, y'all. There it is, Mr. Dave. Thank you, man. Thank you so much for your story, for your perspectives. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being an overcomer. Thank you for being a veteran. Thank you for serving this country. Thank you for serving your community. Thank you for your volunteer work. Thank you for what you sacrificed. Thank you for being a great dad. Thank you for being a great husband. Thank you for being a great person. Sir, you are definitely enough. And I appreciate it. It was an honor to do this podcast with you today, sir.
Q, I appreciate everything. And listen, I appreciate you because you've given me the opportunity to do this. Like, I could tell this to anybody I want all day long, but I don't have that platform. Like, I got 500 some followers on Instagram after 5 years, but being able to have that opportunity to come out and have that energy that's so mirrored. Like, I don't know, man, it's what, 9-10 o'clock here. You have way more energy than I could have this time of day. But I really appreciate you. And honestly, anytime you want me on, if you want me on to talk about something specific, I'm happy to. And I want to see this grow even more.
Absolutely. Well, listen, man, thank you so much. Listen, to everyone else, you've heard the conversation. I keep telling you, we have amazing people that keep coming on day after day. And so you do not want to miss out on these conversations. So please make sure you're subscribed. Mr. Dave, thank you again. And to everyone else, we will see you on the next time.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.